If there was a gestalt of Clint Eastwood, Chuck Norris, and Bruce Lee, they would combine and form Drift. Hey YouTube, Ultra Maximus back with another Transformers review, hitting the Generations line. And this is probably one of my favorite Generation characters because he didn't exist in the cartoons. He's actually, I want to say he's the first original comic book Transformer that Hasbro has produced. I mean, he's a fan favorite, and I was actually shocked that they made this guy. It's Drift. And he made his debut in the Dreamwave comics as this kind of rogue Autobot, which he kind of reminds me of Devcon from the G1 series. He's not quite a bounty hunter, but he's just like this rogue Autobot assassin-like guy. He's not quite an Autobot. He's not quite a Decepticon. He's more of an Autobot than a Decepticon, but he's real close to being a Decepticon. And he's got a Spotlight comic, a one-shot storyline, which is probably, in my opinion, the best Transformers comic book that has been put out in years. He's hunting down Decepticons, and he shows up all wrapped up in bandages and just infiltrates the spaceport, and these aliens are helping him try to, infiltrate the Decepticon warship, and it kind of gives you that flavor of there are other aliens in the galaxy, and what some of these other aliens, how they interact with Cybertronians, and how they view them and see them in the universe. And they find out she's like, you can't go in there, you'll be killed, and she grabs him and she's like, you're one of them. And he just like a ninja goes in there and just starts just destroying stuff. And fell in love with the character ever since. He's probably one of the baddest badasses the Autobots have. He is a pretty darn cool character. We'll talk about the figure. Let's look at the package first, see what kind of package he came in, talk about the robot mode, and let's talk about his vehicle mode, shall we? Alright, so here we have Autobot Drift in his package. He was in the Generations line, and he actually was repainted as Blur. I'm pretty sure Drift came out first. They're basically the same mold. To me, it's the Drift mold, because this character, at least around here in Indiana, this figure debuted before Blur did. And I never did pick up the Blur figure because, well, it just didn't look as cool as Drift. And Drift is badass. Period. So let's take a look at the back of the package and see what was on there, shall we? Alright, so the back of the package, we've got Drift in his sports car type of mode. There he is in robot mode, stats, bio, all that kind of stuff. What kind of weapons he came with, all that kind of good stuff. So, pretty typical packaging, nothing real complex. It's just a basic shot of the toy robot and the toy car, stats, and bio. Yeah, about it. So, here we have Drift in his robot mode, and he's looking all kinds of awesome. Again, I love this mold. I think it works well. It looks good. He looks very samurai-like with his helmet there, and then he's got some Japanese off on the side in his doors, and his doors kind of turn into these like samurai armor pieces that also act as a sheath for some weapons. We'll talk about that. And then the door fins kind of come up. Again, he just all around has a very samurai armor look, samurai robot look, and it just really nice. He's got a pretty unique head mold. Kind of, I guess, a takeoff of Springer. You could probably use that for a Springer head. He's got some pretty good light piping on him. Let's see if we can... Yep, see, there we go. Let's see. And we pause. Yep, there's his light piping. So he's got pretty good light piping in there. Looks pretty decent. We like that. And the thing I like about this guy, he's not a blaster guy. He didn't come with any laser blasters. He is a samurai. He is a sword kind of bot. He's got, first of all, in the doors, he has these little small swords that he has that are thick and nasty and badass, and I really dig them, and they fit very well in there. He comes with two of them, so he's got both of those. And then on his back, he's got a spot for this massive massive sword. Okay, and put him down for a second. Now, there are some issues with this sword. It is a rubber, and I've had him posed, and the rubber kind of fell over, so I'm going to have to flatten it out, put it under a book or something. So that is soft rubber, and it will bend, because I had him, he's kind of posable, so I had him up with this sword. But it is a very cool looking sword. It's got kind of this goldish gear in the middle, and then we'll see if we can catch this in the light. There you go. There are Japanese inscriptions. I'm guessing it's supposed to be Cybertronian inscriptions on the blade itself, but it looks Japanese to me. If you know what it is, if you speak Japanese or read Japanese, I would love to know what that says. If it is Japanese, it may just be fake bullshit language. But it looks pretty Japanese to me. But yeah, this thing is huge. If you put this in his hand, I mean, it's a humongous sword. This thing is awesome. And the cool thing about this guy is he is very, very posable. And this sword has a nice long handle so that you can get some really wicked kind of, I'm going to slam down like, hi-ya, kind of just absolutely. This is usually the way he sits on my shelf with both hands with this big bastard of a sword. Let go. Let go. So very cool, very awesome. Really, really dig that. Yeah. He just, like I said, he just really nice, really cool. He's very posable. I mean, he's got hip joints, his knees move, his feet kind of suck. They don't, I mean, once you sit him in a pose, he's pretty good, but he doesn't just blatantly stand there. His shoulders are pretty decent, considering I got these big bastard things on there. His head's on a ball joint, like usual, and his hands, and all the usual kind of stuff. And then you can move these pieces around a little to get whatever pose you need to get him in. But yeah, he's just really, really nice, really cool. A couple things. They look nice. He's got two Autobot logos on his shoulders, and eventually he does join the Autobot ranks. But when he's first introduced, he's a nail. He's a non-aligned, indigenous life form to Cybertron. He's neutral, and in the original comics, he didn't have an Earth mode. I think he eventually adopts this mode in the comic books, but when we first meet him, he's totally Cybertronian. But I mean, it's a Transformer, so he's going to have the Earth mode, and he's got a sports car mode, which we'll take a look at here. But the detail on this guy is phenomenal. This, for being a comic book only character, fantastic. I wish that he would have been part of the Transformers Prime series. I would love to have seen him entered in there, just an utter badass. Like Wheeljack's kind of got that loner badass mentality. I think he would have been a lot cooler. Obviously, he's not a wrecker. I mean, he's kind of the loner sort of dude, but he is absolutely awesome in that robot mode. So let's look at him in his vehicle mode and see if he's equally as cool. I bet he is. All right, so here we have Drift in his vehicle mode, and I gotta say, this thing looks awesome. I love the way this looks. It looks badass. I love it's like the Japanese rising sun coming off of the car here with the Japanese logos. I'd love to know what that says. If you speak Japanese or read Japanese, and you could tell me what it is, that would be awesome. It's just very nice. We got the detail up here. We've got tinted smoked blue headlights, which looks nice. We've got a nice paint app up here on the grill. We got a nice hood scoop here, some vents on the top. Just looks awesome. We've got some more spoiler type stuff there. We got the nice windshield, and what's really cool that that we got the tinted blue glass. The windows actually fold down when he goes into robot mode, so they actually fold down, which is very, very nice. Got this nice scoop up here. It looks like he could have some T-tops. There's a silver paint app for the rear window, and yes, he's got tail lights. God, I love when they put tail lights on there. Isn't that really sad that they do it so infrequently? When they actually do it, we're like, ah. So, yeah, very cool. Paint apps for tail lights. We got the nice gray paint app back there on the grill there. He's got a couple of tailpipes back there, which I would have liked to add, maybe put a little gray on that. That would have been nice, but yeah, it is what it is. The wheels look really cool. He rolls really well. He's got a nice big spoiler up here. Very cool figure, very nice. He actually transforms very, very easily. Reminds me of kind of the old school Jazz and Prowl figures, those kind of things. So it's an easy transform. It works very well. His sword will actually store up underneath as well. If I can get this thing in here. It's his backslide, or his, ow, cut my finger, and scraping it on plastic is not fun. It's just the back piece that holds it, so you can actually put that up in there. I'm not going to throw it in all the way, because, yeah, whatever. So his weapons do store, which is very cool, very nice, but he just looks really cool. You could, I mean, they use this mold for Blur. It just didn't look all that great to me. You could probably, if you wanted to, which I think would be kind of a cool thing to do, you know, because they've already done Blur. You could use this mold for a Wheeljack or maybe a Trax or a Hot Rod figure, and then make them more samurai-like. I think that would be very cool. Like a line of samurai Autobots would be very cool. It'd be nice to add like little Cybertronian flags and stuff, and that would be really badass. But I mean, he looks good. I mean, it looks like a, oh, he's got something else. Let's see if I can pick it up in the camera light here. Right here, he's got, here it is, a little gas tank, which is very cool. So he's got the little gas tank app. So that's pretty darn awesome. He's even got handles on his doors. So very cool, very nice. I love this figure both in the vehicle mode and in the robot mode. I display it in robot, but it just kind of gives me that idea that, you know, let's do something a little different with Transformers. Run a line of samurai figures. I think that would be very, very cool. Samurai robots, you know, Autobots and Decepticons both. Maybe make some ninja bots. You know, it'd be badass. It would just really, 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 really be cool. But yeah, I thank Hasbro greatly for making this figure. He's definitely a fan favorite. I wouldn't have thought this would come out unless it was some kind of bot exclusive, but no, he just flat out in the Generations line. He was that popular. He was that much of a badass. He's awesome in the comic book. Yeah, if you pick that comic up, read it. Do I recommend this figure? Hells to the yeah. He is definitely one to have in your collection. If you've got a Blur, sorry, this guy kicks Blur's ass in so many ways. And he's just flat out one of my favorite figures in the past 30-some years of Transformers. So there he is, guys. Autobot Drift. Thanks for watching, and look for more videos in the future.